In order to solve this radical equation for a, we're going to need to get rid of our square root sign. And the inverse of square root is to square something. The problem is, and where most students run into trouble, we can't just start squaring things because we feel like it or just get rid of it because it's ugly. We're going to have to get our radical all by itself on this side of the equation before we can square it and get rid of it. So what that really means is I need to get this radical alone on the left side of the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line down the equal sign. And I'm just going to go ahead and circle this radical because this is the thing I need to get by itself before I can do anything else. And so then that helps me see that my -8 is what needs to move. And the inverse of -8 is +8. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides of my equation. My 8's cancel out. And what that does is that brings down my radical, the square root of 5a minus 5 on the left side. And I've got -3 plus 8 is 5. Now that I have just a radical on the left side, just everything is underneath my radical, I can get rid of this by squaring both sides. I've seen students just get rid of it. I'm tired of it. You can't do that without squaring both sides because it's going to change the other side. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to square both sides of my equation. That keeps everything in balance. Squaring a square root, all that does is it gets rid of the radical. So 5a minus 5. But the critical thing is you don't just get rid of the radical, you've actually squared both sides. So that really does impact more significantly the right side of your equation. Okay, so now we're just solving for a. So I'm going to go ahead and circle my a because my goal is to get that by itself. So I'm going to move 5. The inverse of -5 is +5 on both sides. And what that gives me is 5a equals 30. And my goal, 5a equals 30, I've got to solve for a. The inverse of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And my answer is a equals 6.